pregunta antes de la charla.
Well,
Okay.
welcome everybody. This is a talk about Titanium, how to make apps and how to connect with a PHP backend. Titanium is a framework that allows to develop apps easily and quickly. Why Titanium? It's a good question. If you know Objective-C or Swift or Java, in the other case, you can develop applications for a smartphone very easy or very quickly, but you need to develop for two platforms. Titanium allows you to make the same application and compile for the smartphone with the same code. Okay? Titanium is easy to learn, it's multi-platform. In fact, you can compile for iPhone, for iOS, for Android, for iPad, for mobile web, and for BlackBerry. It's based on JavaScript. It's free to use. It has a very good documentation and a good community to learn and to make your questions, and the community asks you quickly. The objective of this presentation is to introduce the Titanium framework, and how to integrate with a PHP backend through an API REST. The code of PHP is easy to follow. It's no problem if you want to translate or to port to another technology. For instance, Node, or if you want Python or Perl, it doesn't matter. We can see in the presentation all the normal questions you need to know about the communication with an API in a real app. And we'll see the server side in PHP, as I said. And the most important, the batch notification, because it's a real problem to make this in a smartphone. The application we present here is an application. It's not an application that can be in a real environment, because it's a...
Marcos, vamos al museo, pero no te vienes, ¿no?
Oye.
This is an app to help to maintain a score in a ping-pong match. Okay. The two players has the application in the mobile phones, and you can claim point every time you gain a point. The most important thing is prepare the application to publish in the Apple market and in the Android market. It's not a trivial issue. We need to, in the case of Apple, you need to pay I think $80 per year, and in the case of Android, you need to pay $25 once. And you can, in this payment, you can publish all the apps you want. In the case of Apple, if you don't pay a year, the applications you have published just publish it and publish it. In order to publish an application in the Apple market, you need to obtain a development certificate, register your test devices, create an app ID, create and install a development provision profile, and build your app embedding this in the application. In fact, you need to fill a form with the data of the app, and you need to pass a check for the people of Apple, because not all the apps Apple allows to stay in the market. In fact, this application that I present here is not appropriate by Apple. Later we'll see this. And Apple needs to comply a lot of consideration about resources, the sizes of icons, images, need to comply a very lot of consideration. Here all the links are referred to Appcelerator. Is a brand that supports the Titanium. Titanium is a framework that is open source, but the company that is in the backend supporting this is Appcelerator. In the case of Google Play, it's more easy, but you need also to fill a form with the screenshots and the price, the market you want to be your application, and you need to maintain an Android manifest in your application in order to be published the application. Later, if you want to use the push notifications, you need to follow this link and create the previous thing you need to make is to create an account in the Google Cloud message system. It's free. It's not a problem. It's like an app API to Google Maps or something like that. In the case of iOS, all the things more or less works with certificate. You need to create a certificate, and download it in your machine and upload then the app with this certificate. In the case of iOS, you need a Mac environment to test the application and to generate the code. Seeing that all the development you make in JavaScript later is compiled to a native code. Okay. We need to fill a form with the certificate we have downloaded through the App Store, and the Android the same. Android is more easy because you need only the API key and the sender ID. And then the app. The flow of the app is more or less simplified in this slide. The first player makes login in the platform and starts a match, waiting for an opponent that makes login also and find a match closest to their location. And in this point, when the opponent joins the match, a push notification is sent to the other player in order to start the match. Each time the player claims a point, the same occurs. Notification in order to update the score. And in this case, to 11 points, is to put 2 notifications and 9 times more. Definitely, the opponent wins. This is a sample. The application starts with a login screen. We have the possibility to register, to obtain a user. The application per se has not the data in the smartphone, it's in the backend. Okay? We'll see later. Then we have a rival screen in which we'll see the players that are near us. We can select a player. Physically, the player is in the same table, but technologically is in this table, in this list. We can refresh. It's not a fact that is made automatically. We need to refresh manually. And also we can start a match with this big button. In the final lap, we can choose the points to win. This is wrong. It's 11, 21. Okay. When we are playing, we have the score of us and the opponent, and we can claim a point or surrender because we are testing, or definitely the other is better than I, and I decide to quit. When one player wins, we see the total score and alert that indicates that. If I want to maintain the portrait mode, I need to see this in order in the JavaScript code, because if not, the screen change in the landscape orientation. One of advantages of Titanium is the marketplace of modules that we have to use if we want, because another developers has developed, for instance, a GPS module or a BD code reader or something like that. We can profit this, or if you want to publish modules, you can profit marketplace of accelerator. For instance, in the app, finally I decided to implement a third-party location module, because in the Android case, the location is lasts a lot of time, and it's not possible to have the location in time. And now the code. To implement a screen in JavaScript through Titanium, we can use the framework, and all the methods start with Titanium. And normally, if I want to have access to the user interface, we need to access the UI object, and then the method that creates a window, creates a label, text file. This is an input box, and we can configure the behavior of this method with a JSON object inside of the code. In this case, to create a window, we have the title, and the background, in this case white. Okay? We have here a label. This is a tip. Later I show you this. We have the text. All the text can be internationalized. This is a behavior that comes with Titanium. And later I explain why the sizes are in DP. Because we can access a lot of devices with a different resolution, different dots per inch, and we need to put exactly the label in this case ever in the same place. We need to access with DP measures. We're going to use the hooks with center auto for some properties. When we create a label, for instance, we need to add to the container in order that this label is represented in the window. The same for the input box. And the rest is normally JavaScript that makes something when the user press the button or will receive data from server. The fact Titanium is multi-platform, we need to check in which platform we are working, because for instance Android has 2 buttons and iOS has nothing. We can check this with Titanium platform and model. We can see if we have, for instance, in a simulator, because if we have working in a simulator, we can change the address of the server to test locally. In the case of iOS, we need to distinguish between iPad and iPhone. It's different. The normal case to use the EPS in the framework is like this. This is extracted from the official documentation, and we can have a look. It's the same. It's ever the same. You have assignments, and the most important thing is all the time we have listeners from events. When I want to make a thing, I need to implement a listener, because the things are not executed in this moment. Okay? If I want to hear from the location GPS model, Titanium makes the call, and when the GPS is synchronized, I receive this. I receive a call from my listener. Sorry. When I want to debug the application, we need to put this kind of codes, and I see this in the console. All the message I put in the API.info or .debug or .error outputs are printed in the console of the Android or iOS. What about best practices? Titanium has a lot of recommendations in this link about why not coding the practices, common GAs, application frameworks, the device. And the server side in this case is the majority of code is in the API. We have a landing to show hello the frame, for evaluate the layers and overview to see more than API. For this presentation, the API has simplified to the maximum and security can be improved, but in order to see how to make this is enough, I think. I have used all the verbs in HTML1, get, put, post, and delete. With this, we can...
Es simplemente vas a morir a una API, realmente. O sea, vas a morir, o sea,
Vas a morir.
post, guest, put late, delete, pues a put delete y ya está. No, ya no. Bueno, luego le preguntamos.
Well,
Let's continue.
this is, for instance, the backend part of to send a notification. Okay, we need to make a call to accelerate to cloud. I don't say earlier. We need to have an account into accelerator in order to download the framework and the IDE, and it's free. Okay, we need to create an account in accelerator to download the Titanic. This is a sample in PHP. To make a push notification, we need to log in first with our user and password, and to make then the notification to the channel and the IDs of users I want to notify. The first thing is the device need to be subscribed to the accelerator cloud, and we need to log in, as I say in this, and finally address some notifications to the system that then sends to the person. More or less, these are the endpoints for the first version of the API. We can check the version of the API, the players that are in the system. We can search a match. We can obtain the info of a match. We can log in into the system to set cloud ID, start a match, win a match, and climb a point. And if I want to register, I need to use this. The responses are in JSON, and this is a sample of the calls of some calls. Okay. If I want to start a match, I need to put the number of points as a parameter in the URL. But this is the presentation. I want to show you guys the code of this.